It's that time again. Wind them up and let them go! What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. Not what you do, it's how you do it. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of time. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out, let them roll from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? When your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, beating free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out, let them roll from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. Hey now, cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. Ooh, cannonball. Woohoo! Cannonball. Yes indeed, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing Formula 3D Season 1 Round 6, the grand finale, here at Detroit Belle Isle. My name is King Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box as he has been all season, always happy to say, it is the Lord himself, Stevie SQ.
Hello everybody, welcome along. As it is, has been said, it's the season finale. René Osterkamp is so close, so very close. Phil Reed, the only man that can stop him, and Phil currently leads the way on pole position from René Osterkamp, but I suspect we're not done yet. But Detroit Belle Isle, the Monaco in iRacing, incredibly bumpy, the walls are everywhere, no room for error whatsoever, and we've seen quite a lot of that in practice.
Yes, we did, and some interesting parking going on as well. Oh, Phil, no, has gone horribly wrong on his third lap, has clouted the wall, and is that's going to put him out of the running. Gio Cortese's just jumped up into second, 120.709. Still a tenth behind where Phil Reed is. Where is René? Oh, that didn't look an ideal line from where he is. Now, I'm not 100% familiar with this particular track. Stevie is far more the expert than I. So where is René at the moment?
René
7. That's 7
yep.
through 11 where he is at the minute.
Yeah, you know, I've got this little infield section where he is now. It's a pretty much flat out through the parts of 9 and 10, but you've got to get it slowed down very quickly for a very tight and with a bump on the exit for turn 11. Coming into turn 12, it's pretty fast. The wall on the exit, you want to carry as much speed through there, and that corner you've just been through, turn 13. Coming onto this back straight with a curve towards the end, which marks the final corner, and there's the line.
Still 2.5 tenths behind Phil Reed.
And that's his laps done.
Yeah, and that is his day. That is, he could do no more in this qualifying session. Now, we were talking before we came on air, how many points Rene needed? We worked it was about 3. He needed, because if he got pole, it would have been he. Pretty
much. It's probably gonna come down to. Well, let's put it this way: Rene Hastenkamp is currently on 218 points. Phil Reed is on 167. That is a 51-point gap. If Phil wins both races, he'll gain 52 points. So Rene needs to not finish those races and not pick up bonus points. Bonus points on offer are 1 bonus point for pole position, 1 bonus point for fastest lap, 2 bonus points for classifying in the results with 0 incident points, and 1 bonus point for 1 incident. So there's some discrepancies there, but for the most point, if Rene finishes the race in the points, he's going to win the title. Just a heads up, by the way, I think our practice king, Tim Delisle, who topped practice, he's just got a lap on the board. I was just about to say I didn't think he was going to. He's only 11, and that's his 3rd and final lap. He had contact on his first one. He's just done a 21.9, which is a 1.5 seconds slower than what he did in practice. So he's clearly struggling. Just to point out as well, the incident limit for these events. First race they have 15, second race they have 30. With this track more so, and we've been over the incident limit, 1 for off track, 2 for spin, 4 for contact. You also can sometimes get the 0x, which is the lightest of caps. You can get them quite easily here. You may still get a little damage from them, but you can get them. But it doesn't always count towards an incident limit. So if you see them get a bump and the number doesn't jump up, they probably had a 0x. And it doesn't count as an invalidated lap.
I see. I think Tim is one of the few cars still running in this qualifying session. A few people did not get a classified time on the board, such as Alexis Sirotkin. So he's still running. And Daniel Morris, who was a very, very late joined us in the practice session that preceded this. So we'll see what they can do. Over the line comes Sirotkin. And 6th. That's a great effort. 21.049. 2/1000ths of a second behind Sergio Fletcher. And again, we're seeing really, really close gaps. We did see in practice, we had 2 drivers, to the 1,000ths of a second had matched each other.
Absolutely.
So, and our interface didn't really know what to do with it, but then it's not the interface fault because the software feeding it, Advo, didn't know what to do with it either. Well, Sergio's come back out on track again. He's not going to be able to do much. It's another 35 seconds and the flag will come out. So, practice starts for Sergio. That's fine.
Just to point out as well, track temp and air temp at the minute are 27 degrees centigrade, which is pretty warm despite the overcast conditions. So grip should be okay. But these races are very much going to be about surviving. Yes. It's very bumpy. It's very dangerous. The exit of turn 2 has a huge bump, famed for the incident last year. Some of you will remember where the pace car driver in an IndyCar race crashed. It's very easy to crash here.
Yeah, and we were watching on board with our drivers doing the practice, and they're just thrown around like ragdolls. It's amazing to see. We're here. Wrong button. It's that one I was aiming for. So Phil Reed with the pole spot there with that 20.6. Then it is Cortese, Osterkamp, Heumann, Fletcher, Sirotkin, Lindstrom, Kessler, Maldonado, Ryan, Sluman, Delisle, Butelard, Tofts, Miles, Barb, Sierra, Dove, Morris, Tessier, and Santana round out our field.
Just to add as well, we've got obviously the Drivers' Championship is on on the line here. We've also got Teams Championship that is hotting up pretty closely. The Simossi lead, 26 points over Team AOR, so that's René Osterkamp and Patrick Kessler versus now the lone wolf, Phil Reed. And then for third place, it's Team AOR Yellow of Knut Martinsen and Evan Imre, neither of which are here tonight, but they better be watching. And they're in third. They have a 61-point lead over the Cube Racing Simulator team of Loic, Barbanel and Tessier, both of whom are here. If they both have a good race, both have good races, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that they can snatch P3 away.
Well, just waiting for our drivers to grid up then. And then we will get our feature race underway. So 40 minutes then around this hellishly bumpy circuit, and then we will have a server reset, and then it'll be our sprint race afterwards to see this incredible season out. What a debut season it's been for this Formula 3 car. What's the drivers' thought of it overall?
It's certainly a popular choice. It's a step up from the Formula 2.0, but it's got its own unique characteristics and flaws that they like.
Absolutely. Just a couple of drivers then that will finish doing what they're doing, and we will be getting this race underway. There's the counter, there's the engine revs. Oh, someone's going to be starting from the pit lane, it looks like. That's David Santana, I believe. And we are away then for the final feature race of this season. Gio Cortese slots in right ahead of René Osterkamp. Look at that behind. That's a lot of jostling going on for third as we lose sight of everybody.
Oh, sorry. Tim Delisle nearly dropped it through turn 2.
Oh, Phil Reed already having to defend very, very hard then as they come through turn 3 for the first time in anger. Oh, that's getting a bit condensed back there. As we saw, there was Tim van Hooyman that was a little bit slower than he'd like with Alexis Sorokin already ahead. Phil Reed's already got himself 7/10ths up front. It's not a bad start for him, and that's exactly what he needed, though, to keep his championship charge alive. But yeah, Tim Delisle is all the way down there in 16th. He's lost 4 positions already in a terrible qualifying by his own standard, and it's got even worse. Oh no, it was only Jacob Toffs that was starting for the pit lane. Oh wow, that's getting close. Erkan Lindstrom under a lot of trouble. He's been demoted by Patrick Kessler. Oh, someone hit the wall, which we'll have a lot of, I imagine, going on in this race, but keeping an eye up front. Look at this lot. Reed, Cortese, Osterkamp, Fletcher, Sorokin, Hooyman. That's the top 6 all in this one train we can see. So Phil Reed doing what he can to get away, but René Osterkamp's basically just going to have to not see the flag, realistically speaking, if Phil Reed wants to take the championship. But that's not going to stop him having to go there. Oh, Butelaar, is that Butelaar in the pit already?
It is indeed, and Morris as well. They have to make a stop in this. Although I would say Butelaar has damage on the front wing. So he's already had some been in the wars. Morris looks like he's coming straight in and out, which he did a couple of weeks ago at Interlagos to great effect. And the Road America as well, I think. Tried and tested for Morris, just running his own pace.
Yeah, best way to be really at a circuit that is kind of this dangerous, so to speak. But just watch how the cars bounce around, even when they're in a straight or in a very slow corner. Well, slow as in a gradual corner where these guys are. Oh, come on.
Tim Delisle in the wall again. He's certainly had a bump. He's only picked up a 0x though. No incidents on the board at all, apart from 2 for David Butelaar. But yeah, Tim looks like he's got front wing damage at the minute. He's having a rough ride of it at the minute.
Again off the wall. That's going to hurt. But wow.
Oh, he's round at turn 11. Oh, he got a little bit on the curb.
I looked away just at the wrong moment. These curbs are so high, and there it is. It was the merest of touches for Tim Delisle, and that's just unsettled the car enough. 1 point. Oh. Look at the gap between what is now Osterkamp and Phil Reed. Gio Cortese's lost that spot. What's happening?
Yeah, when did he do that?
That's only just happened. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of jostling around. What's going on? Oh goodness! What I saw the numbers suddenly jump around. That's Maldonado, Dove, and Miles all involved in this. What's happened here? Jordi Maldonado. I've gone back a little bit far.
Oh no!
we're just about to see what's happened here. So, what's happened here? There is car 98. That's Lindstrom. Oh no! 2 into 1 doesn't go. And that's collected several other people as well. Sarah Dove is involved in that. Oh, big impact, Sarah Dove on car 72. That is...
Marcel Miles is in the pits.
Oh, wow. And as Sarah Dove tried to get out from underneath and nearly took Erkan Lindstrom with her. Oh, goodness me. Marcel Miles in the pits. He's recovered back there. But back up to the front, though. René Oosterkamp now staring at the tail of Phil Reed. Because it will show that Marcel Miles is in the lead because he's jumped back to the pit ahead of everybody else. But that will, of course, correct itself as time goes on. This is exactly what Phil Reed didn't want. He didn't want René Oosterkamp staring at his tail, but that is exactly what he's got. The CRC driver doesn't really need to do anything other than just follow him. And the championship is his, as we've already said. But races will be races. He's going to want top honours nonetheless. And Phil Reed doing a stellar job out front. But he's got a lot of work to do to keep René Oosterkamp behind him. And that's not the first time we've said that in this series. And right behind them, there's Cortese, who has had a problem at some point.
Yeah.
He's back up on pace, it seems.
Yeah, he spun at turn 11.
Oh.
He didn't fully go around. He managed to save it, but he got him very sideways, and the recovery let René. No damage, no harm done. He just lost a position, and he lost himself a lot of... And for Phil, this is, if there's any race that you want you need your championship rival to not finish both races, this is the one.
Yes.
Because anything can happen to any driver. So we will see what happens. Although René looks like he's putting an increasing amount of pressure on Phil Reed at the minute.
Absolutely, he is. With the exception of David Santana that we lost before the race even began, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars already come through the pit lane. Now, not all of those were damage related, but vast majority of them were. We've got 3 cars that are still in the pits, which would be Lindstrom, Miles, and Maldonado. Dove, Tofts, Morris, and Delisle have all been through and are back on track again. I was just wondering why Jacob Tofts was coming up as going through the pits twice. It's because he started in the pits, that's why.
We've got another one in. Look, Bob has just come in the pit. So yeah, we're down to 11 cars having not pitted so far. David Boutella has left the session. So I'm not sure what happened to him. We've also got Alexei Sorokin putting pressure on Sergio Fletcher for 4th place. Yeah. There's lots of 2-car trains going on here.
Yeah. Kessler and Van Hooyman right behind. So that battle continues to rage on. Oh wow, Loic Barb is in there a while. Delisle is in as well. Oh, what the heck has happened to you?
That's a biggie.
Yes. Oh wow, that's turn 11 again, I think. Big incident there. He just caught the wall and round he went. Well, that's going to be a long day for Tim Delisle. Oh, we've lost Van Hooyman. We have lost Tom Van Hooyman. But he's disconnected more than driver error, as he was running okay. He's got had no incidents on the board, and he's gone. He's literally fallen from. He's
not disconnected from the session. He may just be blinking out or in the process of disconnect. Because he's disappeared off our timing screens. It is rare, but it can happen that he will come back, and it'll give a heart attack to whoever.
Ping, hello.
Yeah,
that's the nature of the beast, though. But I mean, usually they kind of blink around as opposed to vanish for a long period of time. Oh, Tessier and De La Sierra. That's the battle for 9th position. Who's going to be the brave on the brakes here? Brave on the brakes and here are 2 very interesting statements. Tessier won that one out. Let's actually ride on board. Oh, Phil Reed's actually opened up a bit of a gap. Let's ride on board with Phil Reed. This will give you an idea of how bumpy it is. Look at that! That's coming through. We're going to do it 8, 9, 10, 11 now. So this is a dangerous corner. This is where I believe that...
that was what I put Daisy's from.
Yeah, and several people have kind of ended up in that big area on the exit. Oh, Phil! Big snap of
that is a perfect example of how bumpy this track is. The car jumps every time you go over a bump, and it starts to slide, and the grip's gone, and then it comes back, and You go through turn 1 here, you can carry a lot of speed through here, and then you've got to carry that through to 2. And turn 2, that bump on the exit there, that will kill you. And all these bumps, certainly get into traction zones, it can throw the car wide. On the braking zones, like here into turn 3, it can cause you to lock up. He's got Sarah Dove, I think, in front of him now that he's going to hope will get out of the way pretty quickly as he goes through turn 4. Coming into turn 5 now, you don't want to touch this inside curb at all because it will throw you out. And you've got turn 6. Now look how tight he's going to want to get, and he got nowhere near. But the exit comes up very quickly on the left as well. You've got this straight now coming down Strand Drive towards turn 7. It's a weird braking zone because the track's not quite straight. You've got this curb on the inside, which you can use a little of. You don't want to use too much. And then you've got this infield section, super bumpy, turns 8, 9, and 10. And this is where we picked him up, but so bumpy, and those curbs don't touch. Traction out of this corner, turn 11, is mean, but he's managed it okay, and then he's coming up to where he had his terrifying moment last lap.
You get some people that kind of, they need either help or medication to lower their blood pressure. This is the reverse. This is what you would definitely. You need your blood pressure raising. Some people have low blood pressure as a problem they need to overcome with. Drive a few laps here in a Formula 3. That'll do the trick. I mean, you've got to be so alert all the time. You cannot just we say this a lot. Momentary lapse of concentration, you're in the wall. But the risk of it is so much higher when the track is that bumpy. The car is just being unsettled all the time and it's thrown around like a sock in a washing machine. It's absolutely unbelievable how difficult this is. I've never driven it. I'm watching this thinking, how on earth driving it in real life must be shake the fillings out of your teeth and things like that. It's absolutely incredible. It's the Monaco of iRacing. One mistake and you're dead. Yeah. You're in the barriers. You're out. It requires a different mindset, and some drivers love this track. Others, understandably, absolutely hate it. I, for one, love it. I think it's great. I thought it was a weird addition, but I think it's welcome. Street tracks are fun like that. They make you redefine track limits. And we've seen the gap fluctuating a lot with Rene and Phil. We've seen him go from 6 tenths to them, and then all of a sudden it's 7 tenths, and all that can be here is a lockup. Because with a lockup, it's like, oh, it's not, I'll just run wide. It's, oh god, I need to stop or I'm going to hit the wall. This is definitely where you would come, a place like this to hone your driving discipline. None of this, I'll wander off wide because I'll be okay when I get to the other side. No. Other side means other side of the wall. Your day's done if you go anywhere near the wall. So we're looking at Alexis Sorokin, who is doing a good old job of hanging on to the back of Sergio Fletcher. The battle for 4th. They've got a similar gap between them as the leaders do, Phil Reed and René Oskamp. Up front, around about 5 to 7 tenths. Let's get on the nose of Alexis Sorokin. Oh gosh, that's so close. I'm not sure what's worse, watching from there or watching from here. At least here you got a better idea. For Stevie's benefit, here being the cockpit view. Just the nose shouldn't be bouncing around like that. It really shouldn't. But that is the nature of the beast. It's exactly what we're talking about. And
the other good camera for that is if you click on like left front suspension. And you can really see how much the suspension moves around trying to keep the car just reacting to the track. It's amazing.
Yeah, but you just do not get appreciation.
Oh no!
Who?
Our leader!
Phil Reed! No, what's happened to you? What's happened to you? Let's have a look quick. Oh,
it's turn 1!
Yeah, just a bit again. Snap of oversteer. Just didn't get the balance quite right, and the car. I mean, he caught it brilliantly well.
He's a lucky boy. Lucky boy. He's very lucky. That could have been game over right there. But that has let championship rival through. Alexis Sorokin. Oh, he's had a spin at turn 6. Got through turn 5. Okay, turn 6. Oh, he clipped the wall on the outside on the entry. So he's just tried to widen the corner as much as possible, and it has backfired because he has clipped it. But he's carried on going. It's cost him some time and some position, a position to Patrick Kessler. But he's carried on going.
So that really only leaves, ironically, we're not used to this in Formula 3D. It doesn't normally get to a point so soon when the field's spread out. But Phil Reed and René Oskamp are the closest cars we've got. We've lost, I think we've lost 7 from this race.
I'll give you an update on who's left the session. Tom van Neumann has now technically disconnected. He has fallen through. Marcel Miles and Tim Delisle have both.
No longer with us.
They're
not dead.
Rest in pieces.
Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 certainly gone. Wow, Loic Barr was in the pits for over a minute with the damage he'd sustained. So
if he can, it's worth him getting back out there. He can get points.
He is back out there, and so he is still running. He's the last of our runners at the moment. But Phil Reed closed back in less than half a second now between him and René Oskamp. Then it's 2 seconds back to Gio Cortese, who's the money is up. Uh-oh, Alain Tessier. Oh no, what's happened to you? I just saw his speed was on 0. Oh, he caught the curb. Oh, he caught the curb that just sent the...
Oh, it's between turns 3 and 4.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he's recovered back to the pits.
Oh, isn't it? Sorry, it's between turns 4 and 5, I suspect. Yeah, little too much curb into the wall, back end in first. That won't have done it much good.
Certainly not.
I think that might just hand AOR Yellow a P3 in the championship.
Ah, yes, because it's both of the what was the team name again?
They're the Cube Racing Simulator, Alain Tessier and Loic Barr. Oh! I just watched. Sorry, I've just left the camera running on Phil Reed for me, just on his nose cam, so I can see what happens to him and René. And René had the biggest wobble through turn 4, and this is the thing with this track. It doesn't matter how quick you feel, how confident you feel, it will bite you. I like to think this track just randomly changes the bumps every lap, just to throw drivers off. But these two, they're the class of the field at the minute, they're the class of the championship. It's not easy for them either.
No, absolutely. Oh, Phil! Oh, again. He's one to... I think Phil wins the championship by default because he's a pad warrior. Yeah, he doesn't have a steering wheel. He uses a pad and done brilliantly well to stay in championship contention up until now. Yeah, maybe a bit more good fortune in the series would have seen him towards the sharper end. Although he won the sprint race at Canada, I recall. But again, the 1 and 2, that car did not want to behave.
They've both won the same amount of races this season so far. They both won 3 apiece. Phil's only had 1 DNF, which was last time out, the last race we did with these cars. But he has had 1 other race outside the point. René has finished in the points every single race, both feature and sprint. He's had a top at least, well, 13th.
Joins us in chat. He's had a netcode problem with Maldonado. Oh, what a shame. That explains what happened to Erkan Lindström. Oh. I heard that as well.
It's one of those things you just don't want to be counter-steering towards a wall.
No, certainly not. Still there in the background, that's Gio Cortese is falling away from this battle as it rages on for 2nd position. Who else is close to anybody else? Kessler is not too far off the back of Sergio Fletcher. It's about 2 seconds there. Battle for 4th position. Everyone else is fairly spread apart. Alexis Rockin 7 seconds back from Kessler, and about 8 seconds is then Connor Ryan. That is Sarah Dove, who's a lap down from Connor Ryan. Then is Marvin Sluman in 8th position, 3.5 behind Connor Ryan. Then is Luis de la Sierra, 17 seconds off the back of Sluman. Jacob Tofts, so he started with the pit lane up to 10th now. car that has been through the pits already. Well, you know, they've got a mandatory pit stop to serve. Jacob Tofts is the lead of those that have not been through the pits. And his pit stop was only 10 seconds. Oh, and Tessier's still there. And
Tofts has pitted, I think. For me, it's showing he's been through twice.
Twice, yes. He has actually pitted voluntarily. So
yeah.
He's not having a... Oh, Marvin Sluman.
Oh, no.
What's happened to you? 8th place, Marvin Sluman.
It's going to be turn 3, I think. Yeah, just round he goes.
Ooh, that...
AOR is having to avoid it.
Yeah. I was like, there's not normally a car there. You just saw he had to really slam on the anchors to not join him in the car. And there is the lead still raging on. No sign of them coming into... Oh, that's close to the ball.
You see, that's the thing with that corner. It's so easy to get kicked out. And just point as well, we've got a couple other drivers in track. We've got Tim Delisle, who I think he summed up his race fairly well. But like you said, he's got time before the next race. There is a sprint race, which is terrifying. Oh, Rene, very out of shape there. Through turn 5, feels very close. If he can get a good run out of here, he might be able to have a look at Rene. Going into turn 7. Not quite close enough. The straight's not really long enough to get you a good slipstream and get you close enough to throw one down the inside.
And Rene will know the nature of the track. He'll know where he has to defend.
And the worst thing for Rene, this is arguably worse for Rene, because it's one thing to be behind your championship rival that you know you're going to beat if you finish behind them. Phil's behind knowing he's got to get... Rene, oh no, in front of them!
Oh, who was that? Jacob Tofts.
Yeah. Oh, Jacob Tofts. He was the leader of the... He's in the wall. He's still there now.
Oh, wow. Oh, so close. That all was very blink of an eye, but well negotiated there by Rene Oskamp and Phil Reed. As Louis de la Sierra has been through the pits. He's pretty short stop, 7.3 seconds for him, and he is back out on track. So he now, certainly with that issue with Jacob Tofts, and I think Jacob is in again. Yeah, Jacob Tofts has brought his car in. That's not a surprise after introducing his car to the wall. Oh, Tommy van Hooyman is. You've seen that, haven't you, in chat? His ISP has died. Oh, from P6, that is absolutely heartbreaking. Patrick Kessler is getting within striking range of Sergio Fletcher. That's less than a second between those two now.
This is very much an ebb and flow race at the minute. Of putting pressure on the driver in front can make a big difference, and we shouldn't underestimate how catastrophic that incident for Jacob Tofts and the consequence for that would have been. You know, that they all have spotters that will say incident ahead or stopped car on the left. You have so little time to react to those kind of things. You know, they came through flat out corner. You know, Rene will have seen it first. Phil would have had even less time. It's just one of those things that can play a huge difference. Oh, who's that gonna interrupt Phil Reed? It's Louis de la Sierra, I guess. But yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. People are driving the circuit; they're allowed to drive it. But these issues, they can sneak up on you in a very hotly contested.
Oh, wow, that was again a bit of a heart-stopping moment for Phil Reed coming through. Lost turn 6. Yeah, the tail again just did not want to behave again, catching the apex a bit hard there. That's cost him time against Rene Oskamp. Rene just always seems to be perfectly cool, doesn't he?
Rene just set the fastest lap of the race.
He did. 120.7. And what's going on with Marvin Sluman? Oh no, he's still going. No, he was caught in a lag moment there. So, again, we come back to Phil. 4-wheel drifting through turn 11. That's turn 11, or was that 6? That was 6 again. That seems to be his...
no,
that
you
was
were
the final
right.
turns. No, beg your pardon.
Oh, he's dropped off a lot, hasn't he? Look at that, look at that. It was 1.2 seconds slower than Rene last lap alone. And it's just one of those things, once you start making mistakes and start getting flustered at a track like this, it will bite you even harder. We've got Alexis Sorokin in the pits. Patrick Kessler still putting a lot of pressure on Sergio Fletcher. It is notoriously difficult to overtake around here, as is Monaco. Not one of many reasons this is Monaco of iRacing. Because bumpy, there's walls everywhere. And
Alexis Sorokin has got no... you've had a big issue somewhere. You're missing quite a significant amount of car.
What's he done?
What has
I'll
he
go
done?
and find out if I can. Final corner, I think.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was...
Then 13.
Or was it? 13, yes. That was exactly the incident that's where we saw Jacob Toft spin.
Exactly what he did. The back stepped out on him through turn 13 and he tried to save it, counter-steered into the wall.
And Phil's in.
Oh, Rene's in as well.
No. Oh, big pardon. That was Rene in. Beg your pardon. I'm looking at the wrong car.
Interesting. Oh my god, there's only 15 minutes.
It's flown by. We're over halfway through the race. There's Rene Osterkamp into the pit lane for his scheduled start. I doubt he'll be there long.
I doubt he'll get much traffic as well. You'll feel pretty spread out at the minute.
Patrick Kessler is very close to Sergio Fletcher. So whilst we may have lost the battle for the lead due to the leader coming in, this battle continues to rage on, and yep, 6.8 second stop for Rene Osterkamp. I think it's the quickest pit stop we've had. Yes, it is. Very few people have had a normal pit stop so far. And on he goes. He comes out in fifth position, beg your pardon. 15 seconds behind this particular battle, but it's fairly safe to say that unless he has a major problem when he's out there, he will probably resume the lead when the pit stops have all shaken out. But you've seen countless times in this race alone how quickly an issue can take hold, so there's nothing taken for granted.
No, and just a point as well for this is the irony of this track. You know, we see so many times the incident limit raise up. I can see only one driver that has that has a high number, and that's 8.
That's fair enough.
That's halfway, but that's the highest, 8. Even Phil Reed's got 1, Gio Cortese 2, Sergio Fletcher 0, Kessler 0, Rene 0. You make a mistake, you die.
Yeah,
it's not easy to pick. Disqualification here is quite a challenge, actually.
Yeah, the incident limit is the last thing that these guys need to worry about.
Absolutely.
It's very much the what would normally cause an incident, the wall or hitting anyone else. That's far more of a consideration. But it's generally losing control of your car is far easier here than it would seem anywhere else. Kessler getting very close to the tail of Sergio Fletcher.
Yeah, they might have a go here. Yeah, Fletcher's going defensive.
Come on, Cameron, keep up. And Fletcher holds on to it for now.
Yeah, that's a weird braking zone there, because you move off the racing line to the right-hand side of the track, even though you're going to a left-hander, because the braking zone in the corner you need to go right for. It's a wonderful track.
Characteristic of the circuit.
Yes.
That's on board with Patrick Kessler, and that is what you can see as he continues to fight Sergio Fletcher. And looking back to the gearbox on Sergio Fletcher, and that is Kessler in. He didn't fancy that battle. Phil Reed did as well. Yeah, just realised that.
Worth pointing out as well for Phil, he's got the unfortunate situation of, because he did well and got pole, he's on the very end of the pit lane. This track is very easy to spin coming out of the pit lane. Where those green cones are is where you can release the pit limiter. If you do that, you can end up sometimes lighting the rears up and round you go. He's managed to do it though, but he's not gained on, he's not passed Rene through the pit stop.
No, he was 3/10 quicker in the pit stop than Rene was, but that still leaves Phil Reed 3.5 seconds behind Rene now post pit stop. That's again just the nature of the beast. If you have pretty bad in laps, or we saw.
He's Phil! He's dead! He's dead!
Oh,
he's in the wall!
That's pretty dramatic. That'll be the end of
and
that.
that is your... Well, that's Rene Gastekamp as champion.
Yeah. Well, it is, yeah. Because Phil now cannot score the necessary points. He had to win this race. So Rene Gastekamp will be your Season 1 Formula 3 champion. And
that will also confirm SimRC as teams champions. From Patrick Kessler and SimRC and Rene Gastekamp, sorry. So they continue their domination of the teams championship, and Rene picks up yet another title. That makes him a 4-time AOR iRacing champion. Incredible.
Absolutely phenomenal performance from Rene Gastekamp and SimRC. Phil, I'm sure, will be gutted with that. Sergio Fletcher is in from second place. 4.2 second stop for him. He's not hanging around at all. So back out on track, he's going to appear in third. So on course for a podium. Let's check in with everybody else. There is Gio Cortese, our current race leader. He started on the front row with Phil Reed. He maintains a decent pace. 21.6 his last lap around, his best 21.2. So he's rather minded his own business. He was a few seconds behind the battle for the lead at one point, but is carrying on nonetheless. Rene Gastekamp, of course, our new champion, will be crowned such when the race is done. He is 18.6 behind. Cortese doesn't have to push, but will continue just to concentrate to keep the car out of the wall. So Gio Fletcher in third position is 9 seconds behind Rene. Then 2.5 further down the road is Patrick Kessler. So Kessler back behind.
Question.
Go for it.
Sergio Fletcher, 4 seconds in the pit stop.
Yes.
He has a 2.3 second lead over Patrick Kessler, who was pushing him pretty much the entire way. Has Sergio underfueled? Or doesn't matter because he's round at turn 12.
Oh, yep, there he goes.
And never mind.
Self-answering question.
I was just curious, because that's a short stop from Sergio, and I was wondering whether he was going to be able to make it. Or whether he just went for track position and just underfueled slightly, but it doesn't matter.
He has undone itself, rather. It's a great shame for Sergio Fletcher. So now that puts Kessler into the podium spots and right on the case of Gio Cortese, who has been through the pits. So this is for second. This is a pure battle for second position. They've got 9 minutes to resolve this. Gonna be around about 6.5 laps. Oh wow! Patrick Kessler wanting to make this a race SimRC 1-2. I would say he's looking very racy, although Gio Cortese has the faster best lap. Look how close! Look how close he was. That was absolutely amazing. There is Cortese's car as we're looking back from Kessler, and Cortese had to let that go. That was a nice clean move from Patrick Kessler. It's a SimRC 1-2. Well, that's what better way to finish the season off than bringing your cars home in the top 2 spots. Still some way to go. Let's see if Cortese has an answer for that in the final 8.5 minutes. After Sergio Fletcher is Conor Ryan. He's pretty much minded his own business. Started 10th, up 5 places, been through the pits, so he's 27.5 seconds behind Fletcher, so he'll be minding his own business. The last man on the lead lap is Marvin Sluman in 6th, of which we only have 11 cars still running from 21 that started the start of the session. Goodness me.
Yeah, for a 4 kilometre long track, the field spread is pretty big at a track like this, but it's just down to survival.
Yes.
And we're seeing those. I mean, I don't want to say it, but Rene Gastekamp, Patrick Kessler, like we said, they're very, very good, and they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time, and they are currently 1-2. It's somewhat fitting.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Luis de la Sierra is a lap down, currently in 7th position. Saradov up into 8th, started 18th. Look, Barb, the second of the Cube Racing team, in 9th. Phil Reed is still classified in 10th, but I'm not really sure we're going to see him back out in the field. Alexei Sorokin, who's long gone, is still classified 11th. And Lance Tessier, who is running without a nose. Have you only just done that? Or have you been running... It was seen that Lance Tessier has been running without a nose for a while.
Yep. It looks like I just keep flicking back, and he's not
doing.
gonna nose.
Okay, well, I mean, he's a number of laps down.
He's probably just got bored of coming in the pit. Well, his last 4 laps have been 1 minute 30. One point into 1:35.3. They're not quick laps, but he's out there.
But he's out there, and he will overhaul Alexei Sorokin, I think, at some point.
Yeah. So, pretty soon he will get Sorokin.
He might get Phil Reed by the time.
There you go. He's just got Sorokin.
There we go. So, oh yeah, he's actually going to overtake then Phil Reed. He will be classified in 10th, and there's the exact reason why you need to keep going.
Oh.
Go on.
He's slowing down. I think he's got a new problem. Oh, he's letting someone through.
It's Colin Ryan, I think, it went through. Was indeed. So yeah, that's. I think as a lamb test, he just needs to make sure that the wheels are pointing in the right way. He's got very little keeping the car on the floor. Sergio Fletcher.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Sorry, I'll tell you one thing. They're not pointing in the right way because he's turning left on a straight.
Oh. Not helpful. Gio Cortese's made a mistake, and that's brought Sergio Fletcher back into contention for the podium spot. So Gio Cortese lost 3 seconds in the last lap, and Fletcher is closing him down pretty quickly. Gained nearly 2 seconds again on Cortese this time around. So that battle is not done at all. They're teammates, those two. It looks like they're wearing the same colours.
They look like they are. I'm not sure what team they drive for, but I'll try and find out for you.
I'm fine with talking about people, but I'm terrible at remembering who drives for what team, with the exception of the SimRC pair of Osterkamp and Kessler, because we see them so often. Remember the AOR ones, by and large.
What we got? Gio Cortese for the NWS Esports team. And Sergio Fletcher is... Hold on, I've got to find him. What number is he?
4.
Oh, wrong end of the list.
0-4.
Yep, they are teammates.
So 2x2 then for the team. SimRC up front. Oh, there goes Fletcher.
Well,
there went that battle. We got 4 laps remaining. And for some people, that countdown can't come quick enough. As laps and the time continue to count away. It doesn't matter what René Osterkamp does now, he can throw it in the wall. And he will still come away as champion. With the unfortunate demise of Phil Reed from this race. So he pretty much just park it now, but of course he won't do that. Far too professional for that. I don't know who to look at because they are really spread out at the moment.
Our closest battle on track is Gio Cortese and Fletcher still. It's now a gap of 3.5 seconds.
Oh, Saradov's backwards.
I'll tell you what, Saradov does need to be careful because she may actually fall foul of the incident limit here.
Oh!
At 15, she's only got 3 to go. If she hits something, she's...
Yeah, this hasn't been a strong race for Sarah, I think it's fair to say.
Well, I mean, we did catch her and Phil Reed in the practice session playing hide and seek.
Yes. They were having fun trying to hide their car in an invisible tyre, well, in a fake tyre barrier in the pit lane entrance. That's true. And Phil then buried his car under what looked like a stand or a weighbridge or something. Fletcher is...
They find their own level of entertainment.
They do. Fletcher is flying again. He's closed in to 2.3 behind Cortese. This battle may yet reignite with only 3 laps to go. Wow, Fletcher is absolutely going for it. And,
he is. He's really pushing to catch Cortese. I think Cortese's backed off. Yeah, Cortese's last few laps have all been 24s or 23s. Fletcher's running 22s, 20. Except for the one where he's bombing, he just went 27.
Yeah, so that's the one where he's going.
Gaining a second lap. Oh, Phil's disconnected as well.
Yes,
he doesn't want that going into the final race. That was not a quit the session though. That was a internet disconnect.
Oh, so involuntary disconnection.
So, well, he was just sat in the pit lane, so that's going to be unfortunate for him. Do you want a fun fact? We've only ever had one other iRacing League race take place here, and that was GTE last season. And the pole time back then was Valtteri Alander, who did a 1 minute 24.1. So these F3 cars are about a good 4 seconds quick. So there you go.
That would be the race that I tried to commentate with Fizzy at the time, and because my PC was woefully inadequate, it was basically we couldn't understand one another. It was basically like trying to talk in Morse code. It was horrifically bad, which then prompted me to then make the necessary updates to my PC and my internet. I should be streaming in higher quality this time, as my internet's been upgraded this week. So hopefully you viewers will be able to certainly see that. Some of the testing I did looked fairly positive. It shouldn't pixelate as badly as it was previously. And Fletcher is right on Cortese's case again.
And you know what I've just realised?
What's that?
These two run the same numbers as the McLaren F1 drivers do. This is Carlos Sainz versus Lando Norris.
Excellent. What further inspiration do they need? Who's that?
And Sergio Fletcher is Spanish.
What
but he's running Lando's
I was going to say they're running the wrong numbers. If that's the case. I think that is De La Sierra they're catching up with.
Where's Rene? Because we're very close to the last lap. Oh, he's just started.
Oh, he just beat the flag.
Just started the last lap. Yeah, he could have backed off there and just skipped that final lap.
And Alain Tessier has overhauled Phil Reed.
With no front wing. But he's just done a lap under a 1 minute 30 though. Oh, didn't nearly miss turn 3 there. He's just done a lap only 6 seconds off the pace. With no front wing, which isn't bad. He's getting steadily quicker. Until he comes into the sprint race next week and goes, oh my god, look at the front grip.
Yeah. Oh, this is how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Fletcher is biding his time. He's either just teasing Cortese, or he's just waiting for a better opportunity to strike. Maybe he's going to wait.
He's running out of opportunity.
I think that's De La Sierra they're catching up to.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just waiting for him to get in the way. Oh no, he got well and truly out of it. He's actually in the middle of the pair of them. That's unlucky. He was over on the right hand side trying to stay out of the way, and they just kind of boxed him in.
Your champion is coming around the final corner.
There he is, René Oskamp, car number 29. Once again, there he is, your winner in the feature race here at Belle Isle. Is once again René Oskamp. Second place, his teammates, car number 28, Patrick Kessler. Very nicely done for the SimRC pair. The battle for the last podium spot continues. Will Cortese fend off Fletcher? Will Fletcher make that final move?
Oh, is he letting him have it? He's not. He's going to defend it.
I don't think he is. Oh, they were wanting to be side by side over the line, but 86 thousandths of a second separated Cortese and Fletcher. Cortese taking that last podium spot. Conor Ryan is 30 seconds further down the road. There is car 41, Marvin Sluman, the last car on the lead lap. De La Sierra, Saradov and Loic Barth, the last runners, and Alain Tessier. Alain Tessier's already jumped out. So our last runners then as they will cross the line. There's Conor Ryan, and there is Marvin Sluman. So the confirmed results, there they are. René Oskamp, the new champion, will take the top spot. Then it's Kessler, Cortese, Fletcher, Ryan, Sluman, Sierra, Dove, Barb, Tessier. Your non-finishers were, I believe, only 10 cars finished. That's, again, nature of this track. So the non-finishers were Reed, Sorokin, Tofts, Morris, Hoyman, Delisle, Lindstrom, Maldonado, Miles, Butler, and Santana. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen now is we will be leaving this particular session, and the sprint race will then be set up. So I'm just going to put some music on in the background, and we will get back to the action as quickly as we can. I'm sure that René Osterkamp is going to race just as hard in the sprint race as he did in this one. But nevertheless, do bear with us and we'll be back to you as quickly as we can. say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. Hey, now cannonball, 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 cannonball.
It's that time again. Wind 'em up and let 'em go!
What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of time. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball. 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 It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out. Let them roll. From sea to shining sea. Ball. Cannonball. Hey now, cannonball. 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 Ooh, cannonball. Woohoo. Cannonball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the sprint race, the final race of this inaugural season for the Formula car here at Belle. I am still King Kodiak, and still alongside me, I certainly hope he hasn't run away, is Stevie SQ. Are you back with us, sir?
No, I've run away to join the circuit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, we're in the final few moments of this preceding practice session. I think 19 of our drivers have returned to us, if I count correctly. So, we will be... It's the top 8. Unless that rule's changed. The top 8 will be in reverse grid order. Is that right?
Has it changed again?
I thought...
No. This is they've changed it now. They get a 1 lap qualifying circuit.
Oh yes, that's right. We did have a couple of rounds.
Although, I guess Phil has changed because Phil's the coordinator of this league. He runs the whole thing. He's changed the way we do it. Usually, we'd have 30 minutes of practice, which he'd skip after 10 minutes, and then we'd go into the race. Now it says we have 25 minutes of qualifying, but I suspect after 5 minutes he'll skip it. Different way of doing it. I wasn't ready for that. So yeah, basically they get 1 timed lap, lone track to themselves. Go out, do what you can do, and that's it. And we saw with the 3 laps they got earlier, not everyone even managed to get time in. So pressure's on.
And not everybody is very good at get out, get it done immediately. Some people need that kind of, that warm up, so to speak. You can hear people bouncing off the wall. We can't see who it is that's bouncing off the wall. Well, no. Oh, Rene's car's white for some reason. Well, he was for a period of time.
Yeah, it's just page reloading back in.
Indeed. Well, let us see then what our champion is able to do. Of course, they get the out lap and then 1 time lap and then job done. That is it. You can do no more. And bear in mind that Rene started 5th, I believe it was, in the feature race. So, and that was after getting 3 laps done. We've seen how easily it is to make a mistake, how quickly this track bites you. So you can just hear, whilst we hear everybody nearby, obviously we can't see them, you can just hear how many wall impacts there are going on. So it's still catching people out.
Yeah. Just a point as well, the drivers were very well behaved and did very well last time out to not have any first lap incident. There was only a slight wobble from Tim Delisle through turn 2. Differences from session to session. The track's a little bit hotter. It's 30 degrees now. It is still overcast, but the sun's certainly shining a bit brighter. So it'll be a little bit hotter for the tyres, which will help if you're struggling to get heat into them. But over the race, it may give you a little bit of an issue with the tyres getting too hot. Championship-wise, it is all wrapped up. It is Rene Osterkamp. And I spoke to Phil Reed just in the break. He said he bin or win, and he binned it. And Conor Ryan has moved up 2 places now into 3rd in the championship, overtaking both Knut Martinsen and Evan Imre. So he looks poised to take that. Rene!
You're watching him as well. He's got really squarely through 9 and 10. In the cockpit with him, and that was a lot of right hand turning into left hand bend. And that could well see him down the order. It's just one mistake like that. I mean, he caught it pretty quickly and then was fairly shortly on the brakes. Here they come then. Let's see how the qualifying order is going to stand.
Delisle didn't have a great lap. He's only 7/10 off Rene. Alexis Sorokin very close, only 13 thousandths off.
Oh, yeah, it was indeed. We won't really know until everybody
has Phil Reed once again.
In the 20s.
Once again.
Yeah, but Rene Osterkamp's going to be alongside him at this rate. Alexis Sorokin, Kessler 4, Van Hooyman 5, Jordi Maldonado 6, Tim DeLar 7. Oh no, who's that's jumped in? Alain Tassier in 6th position. Tim DeLar, Marvin Sluman, Connor Ryan 10th, Logan Barber 11. Where's Cortese or De La Sierra in 12th? There is Gio Cortese. Of course, they didn't have to all leave the pits at once, so doesn't mean everybody crossed the line at the same time. And Gio Cortese had a 3-minute outlap, so he took his time, or he had a spin.
It's possible.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's going to have to get on it though. Not got long to finish it.
No, we're still looking at the same time limit. So here he comes in through the final few turns. I think, if I've got my bearings right.
He's in the infield now, through 8 now. Going into 9, this is where we saw Rene Osterkamp have that wobble. He drops it down a gear, into 3rd, down to 2nd now, in this tricky exit of turn 11, where he spun in the feature race. All got it right now though.
Fletcher's up to 2nd.
Nice! Oh, very close. 8,800. Sorry, I feel Reed. Gio Cortese coming towards the line. Just got this final corner. It's not really a corner. It is a corner, but it's flat out. Turn 14 and goes 3rd fastest.
3rd, yeah.
So Rene has been bumped down to the 2nd row once again.
Yeah, well, 3rd row in the feature race, and then 2nd row this time. So now that everybody has settled out, the 3 that didn't were Tofts, Miles and Morris. So they will be starting towards the tail end of the field.
Trying to work out who we've lost. Oh, we don't have David Santana and we don't have Butala.
Oh, what's a shame.
So I'm not sure what happened to them.
You decided enough was enough?
Perhaps.
I didn't fancy dancing over the bumps again, so that's a bit of a shame.
Gio Cortese looks to be the only one. Still going round. You can, yeah, and there you go. There's the advance from Phil.
Yeah. So to confirm, then the grid order, there it is. So it is Reed, Fletcher, Cortese, Osterkamp, Sorokin, Kessler, Van Hooyman, Tessier, Maldonado, Lindstrom, Delisle, Sluman. Oh, So I got that wrong. Let's try that again. Then Ryan, Barb, De La Sierra, Dove, Morris. There's a gap 18 to 19. Oh, yes, of course, because they were the ones that didn't set a time. That's probably why there's a gap there. As we now get to the grid for the final time in the season. Again, a standing start for our drivers. It's going to be around about 19 laps, give or take. It depends how badly it goes for them, I suppose.
This is true. We saw a lot of, well, only 6 cars on the lead lap last time.
Well, indeed, only 10 found the checkered flag. So we'll see then how it shakes down this time. It's always, I always find it kind of amusing when they kind of rock side to side on the grid like that.
I would love to tell you what that is. I have no idea.
That's just going up and down the gears, just something to do.
Maybe.
Not everybody does it, interestingly. Right, just waiting for, it's actually just one more person, I think, to grid up. Which I believe is Daniel Morris. Waiting for him to take his position, then we will get this one underway.
Two poles from Phil Reed, though.
Yeah, fair play to Phil. Fair play to him indeed. Let's see if he can round out the season with a win. He may not take the crown, but he's made Rene Osterkamp work for it. Here we go then for the final time with the Formula 3s, and away they go. It was a very good start then from Phil Reed. He's really launched off the line. And oh, that's actually slightly nauseating as you watch it from the gearbox, the way they bounce around like that. Away they go then, Sergio
Instant further back, De La Sierra, Marvin Sluman, Sarah Dove, Jacob Toftsall.
Lynchford falling through the field. Oh, Phil Reed is no, he's not lost. Oh, De La Sierra has already gone back to the pits, so that's gone horrifically wrong already for Luis De La Sierra. Thought Phil had lost the lead for a moment, but of course because he's jumped back to the pits, he will jump up to the lead. And Rennie Osterkamp's already lost a position. He's down to 5th, so that's a terrible start then for our newly crowned champion. Oh no, he hasn't. Again, I'm looking at the numbers wrong. He's still in 4th because Luis De La Sierra jumps the numbers until he gets passed by everybody. Here they come then through the infield section for the first time in the sprint race. There's Sorokin. Oh,
Fletcher in the wall, and his team.
Oh no!
Fletcher out. Oh well, they're in the wall one way or another. Oh,
what happened there?
What a shame.
Fletcher caught the curb and then bounces off the wall. Cortese minding his own business, trying to come past him, and they just sat there staring at each other in disbelief at what's just happened. Once again, Phil Reed finds himself in company with René Osterkamp in the early part of the race. Then Sorokin now up to 3rd. There you've got Kessler, Van Hooyman, Maldonado and Delisle in very, very short order. We didn't see much of Tim Delisle, unfortunately. So hopefully that we'll see a bit more of here.
Tom Van Hooyman's having some connection issues. That's what put him out in the but he's blinking a little bit now. Tim Delisle looks like he just hit the wall there.
Yeah.
Looks like he gave it a fair old clout as well, but seemingly okay.
So we're still hearing people bouncing off the walls, and Cortese is back in the pits. What happened to... Where'd the other one go?
Cortese is still going. Fletcher is in the pits.
Oh, he's only just made it back to the pits. That's how badly he went there.
Yep.
So we've lost. So De La Sierra, Tessier and Marvin Sluman are in the pits and probably there for the duration. So Fletcher's just made it back. Wow, that's the gap that Phil Reed has for himself, 1.5 seconds over René Osterkamp. Then about the same again to Alexis Sorokin. And there is that blinking from Van Hooyman, unfortunately. Tim Delisle in a really strong position. He's just half a second less than that off the back of Jordi Maldonado as they come streaming down towards turn 7. Keep it nice and clean. No, that's not 7. That is 1. Yeah, just realised it's 1 and 2. I'll remember by the time the checkered flag falls again.
Kessler putting pressure again on Alexis Sorokin. It's interesting that SimRC seemed to just, at the minute, certainly here, just struggled to get the qualifying pace together. But in the race, they were right there.
Oh, Jacob Tofts is in the pits. He needed a new wing, so he didn't get away unscathed either. Again, Jacob Tofts having trouble. A great shame. René Osterkamp's less than a second behind Phil Reed now. Phil Reed's had a terrible run through that infield section. René Osterkamp's right on his wing now. So that's undone itself rather for Phil Reed. But they have broken away to 2 seconds over Alexis Sorokin. There is Alexei with the second SimRC driver, Patrick Kessler, in hot pursuit. And Delisle and Maldonado continue their battle for 6th position. So further down the field, Daniel Morris on the back of Marcel Miles. The last race didn't go well for either of those two, so looking to see the season out on a bit more of a positive note. But René Osterkamp just 3 tenths behind Phil Reed now.
Yeah, he's super close. It looks no, it looks okay to me. I'll just check the front wing. Although I think Phil may have a little bit of damage on there. Patrick Kessler still very close to Alexis Sorokin, and like you say, you've still got Maldonado and Tim Delisle scrapping it out, but they've got Tom Van Hooyman in front of them, and he has having those connection issues, which is not what you really want at the track ever, but certainly not one like this. It can just be a little distracting.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, and again, people just bouncing off of that wall. Tim Delisle again, bouncing off the wall, coming through. Where was that? 6, I think. Streaming on down towards that infield section. Again, another one. He's not. He's been. Oh, that's Saradov. That is Saradov that is round. What has happened? That distinctive purple car. Oh, the tail just let go coming through turn 10. And she had to then, she initially reversed, tried to spin it round. And
straight back into the wall.
That was a great shame. Maybe a little bit of panic there as realising the leaders were coming through. Oh, Saradov, they're definitely a race to forget for Sarah. She's still going on though.
Oh, right. It's close to Phil here. He might have a go.
Force to the outside, bouncing off the rev limiter. Oh! big moment for Rene Oskamp, nearly flying down that escape road. But,
you saw how late Rene braked. He locked the rears. The car was sliding underneath him. He did well to hold that, and he did even better to make the corner.
Very, very well held indeed. Kessler still with Sorokin. There they are. Blinking Van Hooyman now 2.2 behind them. So, keeping an eye on the gaps are all very close. Tim Delisle, the previous race winner in the series, is right with Jordi Maldonado. Tail getting a tad lively there for Delisle. Kept that one in check. And again, someone rubbing the wall. A fair amount of that going on this race.
Yeah.
Oh, Sorokin has just lost their position to Kessler. That was very sudden. Oh! Sorokin bounced off the wall. That's what happened. Came off the wall quite hard on the outside of 8, I think. And then got very out of shape coming through 11. So that completed the move. Kessler through into 3rd position. And now Sorokin's got Van Hooyman for company. Will Kessler then run off after his teammates? Got 3.3 seconds to close down. With this being the sprint race, there's much less laps to do something about it. That's the view from the nose of Tim Delisle's car. Oh, Maldonado, bit scruffy coming through 3. Keeps it under control, keeps
Luke Barber's just had an issue in turn 1, by the way. Yeah, Roundy.
Oh, there he was. What happened to Loic Barb? Let's see. Into turn 1. Oh, just he got off the brakes just to get a bit of traction to keep him away from the wall. Good save.
Top 2 though, separated by under 0.3 of a second. Rene is not hanging around. He's putting as much pressure as he can on Phil Reed for the championship over. There's nothing to lose. They may as well go for.
Yeah, absolutely. The title already decided. This is a kind of battle for honour now. In the slipstream is Osterkamp. He's forced to the outside for turn 1. Oh, he backs out of it. He didn't fancy it too much. You don't want to go around
the outside at turn 1. It's not worth it. You're better to sit behind and just try and get the good run down into turn 2.
That's cost him a little bit of momentum. I think it's going to put him too far back for 3 unless he makes the dive bomb of the century. But no, he's far too wise for that.
I'll tell you what puts you off doing a dive bomb for the century: a solid wall in front of you.
Yeah, it's pretty good deterrent. It's very effective deterrent. Van Hooyman is close to the back of Sorokin. That's only 7/10 there. We saw in the background Delisle about 3/10 off the back of Maldonado, pretty much where he's been all race long. What's happened to Daniel Morris lagging? Oh, Phil Reed side by side with Osterkamp, but manages to defend it coming through turn 7. So that was slipstream all the way down that straight. Well, that's slightly bent straight. Heading down towards turn 7, Phil Reed managed to defend this position and give himself about half a second breathing space over Osterkamp. But yeah, this is purely for bragging rights.
Absolutely, this is just pride of it. Oh, Phil Reed is round. He's saved it, but he's lost the lead to Rene Osterkamp right there in turn 12.
I looked away just at the wrong moment because I saw that Daniel Morris was having a battle. What did Phil do? Literally at the point you oohed was the point I clicked away. And oh, there he went. Slam on the anchors to keep that out of the ball. And
I thought I saw Rene then. It's not, it's Jacob Toffs.
Oh, goodness me. The day goes from bad to disastrous for Jacob Toffs. So he's already a lap down, and that's pretty much everybody past him now.
We'll see what Phil Reed's got to counter Rene Osterkamp, or whether Patrick Kessler's going to join the party.
Well, indeed.
Make it yet another SimRC 1-2.
Impressive, and certainly they have the pace to do it. Tim Delisle still hounding the back of Maldonado, who's not far off the back of Van Hooyman, who's not far off the back of Sorokin. So that 4-car train continues. Erka Lindström is only 3 seconds behind them, so that train could get a bit bigger.
Yeah, if they start scrapping in front, or if anything happens, Erka's poised to collect some more points.
Then there's quite a gap between Erka Lindström and Conor Ryan, about 8 seconds there. Then another 7 seconds back to Marcel Miles. Only 2.5 further back to Loic Barbe, and then only 1 second back to Daniel Morris, and then a long way back for Gio Cortese. Oh, well, then we saw him have that huge issue with his own teammate Sergio there, but Sergio has called it a day. He hasn't returned from the pits, so Cortese and Tops have had a voluntary pit stop, but unfortunately we have lost Saradov, Fletcher, De La Sierra, Tessier and Sluman from this race, so we are down to 14.
Yeah, it's track once again proving it's not easy here. As soon as Lara gets within a couple of tenths now of Jordi Maldonado, he's almost pushing him through these slower corners.
It's just kicking up a bit of dust there, that's not ideal. But on they go nonetheless. Oh, that's close. But I mean, that's the view from the nose. Actually, the cockpit's a slightly more representative one. That is what Tim Delisle can see, and we know he's no slouch. And what's happened up front? Daniel Morris has recovered back to the pits. Tim's going to have a look here. No, he's keeping the pressure on. You can see how sideways Maldonado is going to defend that position coming through that infield section. And Tim is just biding his time. He's already up a few positions from his initial start, but Erka Lindström, that's not Erka Lindström, that right behind them is, I've forgotten, it's Jacob Tofts. So Erka Lindström is falling a little bit behind this battle, unfortunately, and Phil Reed is losing ground to Rene Osterkamp as Rene sets the fastest lap of the race, about 20.7. And Phil Reed can just hang on as best he can, but it's looking like it's going to be SimRC's day again. It's only on the top spot.
Tim Delisle is going to have a go on Jordi Maldonado. Jordi going to defend. It's out in the middle. Tim's going for it up the inside. Jordi's left him room. Side by side, looked like there may have been contact there, but it might just have been Netco. But Tim Delisle finally, it's taken him half the race, but he's got that position up 4 places.
I did wonder whether Jordi was actually going to turn into Tim Delisle there, but he saw just in time that Tim Delisle was side by side, and already that ahead is indeed Tom Van Hooyman. I keep calling him Tim Van Hooyman. Not like
We've got a Tom and Tim right next to each other.
That's true. Tim Delisle chases Tom Van Hooyman. So the blinking car 77 is now really piling the pressure on, or having the pressure piled on, I should say, by Tim Delisle.
What a turnaround though for Tim Delisle. You know, we saw him in practice in the first for the feature race, and he looked rapid in qualifying. It all fell apart, and then in the race he was out within 5 laps. And yet here he is. Okay, qualifying wasn't great, but he's made up positions, and he doesn't look like he's finished yet. Someone's dived in the pit lane. Jacob Tofts.
Jacob Tofts again, unfortunately. This track is still being very cruel to its participants. And this is the closest battle we've got at the moment, so we'll stick with them for now. So that's about a second that's been generated between Delisle and Maldonado now. Tom Van Hooyman, does he have an answer? Their best laps were very, very close together. There's Tom Van Hooyman, both 21.9, but Tim gained about 1.5 seconds or so on Tom Van Hooyman last time around. So let's see what he can do this time.
Yeah, he's got a good run here. He might have a go now into turn 7. He might make Tom go defensive. No, he sits behind him for now.
It's always the risk, isn't it? Do you make the move, especially if it's a surprise move? But a track like this, taking that kind of risk is probably not worth it.
No, this track is existing on this track is enough risk on its own. You don't want to be adding extra variables into that. I think Tim knows he's got some good pace here at the minute. and he's proven he can do it. He's just got to get the right opportunity. He's still got a little time. We are over halfway in the race now, under 10 minutes to go. So he's still got a few places he can make. He's got Alexei Sorokin just up the road if you can get past Tom van Hooyman.
Indeed. Loic Barb is on the back of Marcel Miles further down the field. This is a battle for 10th position. Loic really is hounding car 72, Marcel Miles. As I said before, they didn't have a particularly positive feature race, so hopefully they will be able to carry on their battle and find the flag. Tim de Lisle less than 3/10 behind Tom van Hooyman. Very, very close. He's rather used to driving blind, essentially, with a car right on his nose. He's had a fair amount of practice trying to get past Jordi Maldonado. Is this going to be an opportunity for Tim de Lisle coming down towards 7 again?
I'm going to defend him.
No, he didn't. Again, he backed out of that.
I think it was more that he locked up and needed to bail quickly, because if he was going to go on the outside, he needed to know his car was going to be in the right place to not hit the wall. And there was a little tiny puff of tyre smoke on the inside, and I think he just thought, do you know what? I'll wait. Brought Jordi back in though.
Yeah, it did. I think Tim is
Loic Barb and Marcel Miles side by side. Sorry to cut you off there. Side by side going into turn 7. Marcel Miles just managed to hold on to that. It's weird seeing the Cube Racing simulator car with the front one. So Alan Tessier race around the last 10 laps or so in the feature race with that one. But yeah, it looks like we've got a battle for 10th, very much so. And we've still got the one from Tim de Lisle and Jordi Maldonado, one Tom.
Goodness me, again, still clipping the wall, using every available inch of track and trying. Well, you don't have the option of and more at a place like this. Again, Tim's got to be careful bouncing off the wall like that. It's going to bite him much harder than he anticipates one of these days. And there he goes again. He's maintaining that outside line. But no, he's not alongside enough. You can't really do a switchback there. Not enough space to do it. Through the infield section once again. And this is just adding so much pressure onto Tom van Hooyman. A track like this, you as a driver surely just want the dull race. Just leave me alone. I want to hit my marks and run my race.
Yeah, it's kind of what I said to you pre-stream is when I raced here in GTE League last season, it was, I know where I can brake, I know where I can turn. Tim's having a look. He's going to go for the inside into turn 1. He needs to get it done. You don't want to be side by side through that. Yeah, Tom van Hooyman wasn't going to fight that too hard, and Tim makes up another place. His next target, if he's going for it, is Alexei Sorokin, two and a bit seconds down. But yeah, it's for when I drove here, it was very much you pick your effort and you stick through them. And I had an hour and 20 minutes of Jukka Suominen behind me, chasing me, putting pressure on me the entire time. I made a few mistakes, a couple of little lockups here and there, but I didn't spin, I didn't hit the wall. It was just you stick to what you know you can do because you need to get to the end.
What were you driving around?
Ferrari.
Of course.
Ferrari GTE.
Oh, Loic Barb! Alongside Marcel Miles again. He's going to have the outside for turn something.
3.
Whoa! Nicely done. Well played, Loic Barb. He'd committed to that in good time. And trouble. Oh,
Jordi Maldonado. Turn 7. He's in the wall. Oh, and he's stuck on the wall as well.
Oh, hard as well. Oh, and nearly collected Erke Lindström, I think. And he's gotten totally stuck. And I think
he's towed.
He's towed, yeah.
Yeah, he just got on the curb a little bit too much on the apex of turns. And he was already in trouble when he got going. The car was crabbing, and then he was front wing damage and more front wing damage. Yeah, it's all gone away from Maldonado a little bit.
Loic Barb's had a moment down at turn 11. It's a shame he just managed to get
famed.
Go on.
The famed corner for spinning.
Yeah.
He went the other way. He went left rather than right. Interesting.
It was kind of Sarah Dove's trick earlier.
Yeah.
It went much more disastrously for her, but Yeah, he made all that effort to get past Marcel Miles. He's now got to do it all over again. He's only got 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah, and he's shown his hand now to Marcel. He's shown him where he's quicker and where he can get it. If Marcel wants to fight it, he's got a trick up his... Tim Delisle, though, already within a second of Alexei Sirotkin. Alexei's been cruising. Tim hasn't. Tim Delisle absolutely pushing. No one's pushing harder than René Osterkamp at the minute, though. He's absolutely flying out front. 2.5 seconds ahead of Phil Reed.
120.5 is that's absolutely stunning.
Which is the second quicker than both Sirotkin and Tim Delisle and Tom. Oh, Tim Delisle's just changed that. Yeah, the 20.8.
1 second. Wow. Delisle's not hanging around at all. I don't think Sirotkin thought that in the slightest.
They're running the same livery.
Yes.
I'm willing. There may have been some coordination there. I don't think it's going to be too much more gain now. I think it's going to be difficult for Tim Delisle to get a cast. But we've seen stranger things, and if Patrick makes a mistake, it's all to play for.
Yeah. Oh, here they come again. It's Barb and Miles. Oh, outside move around turn 1. Well played, loving Barb. That was a brave move. He committed to that very, very early, and Marcel Miles gave him the room. Here comes Marcel Miles again. Car 72 is now going to jump to the inside for turn 3, but he's not along the side. But that's forced Barb to go a bit deep, and they maintain the position. That was very well driven from Loving Barb. If you get a chance, Stevie, you should watch that one.
I just did. I just went back and had a look at it. That is commitment to that. It's one of the mysteries of down. You've got to know your car's going to stick, and he threw it in with tremendous amount of speed, and it gripped. Admittedly, there was some give from Marcel, which is fair. Exacting when you've lost as important as knowing when to, and that was really well done.
Yes, someone's had their Weetabix this morning. My God, he had some stones to do that move. That was absolutely brilliant.
With repaying the mistake Loic did with one exactly the same.
Oh, right.
A little bit of a spin, or a little bit of a slide, I should say, at turn 11. Turn 11, such a difficult corner.
He's caught so many people out tonight. Van Hooyman is still pretty close to Sirotkin. That is battle for 5th, and as Tim Delisle's got himself 1.6 now between himself and Sirotkin. But Van Hooyman, he's not got a lot of time left. It's only 2 minutes now on the clock. It is a timed race, even though we do use lap counters. It is a timed race, so the checker flag will come out at when the timer hits 0, irrespective of how many laps are done. As René Osterkamp has just come over the line to start lap 17. 17? No, 18, beg your pardon.
18, yeah.
So 17 done. Yeah.
Sorry, Tom Van Hooyman very close again to Sirotkin's got a little bit of damage. But Tom Van Hooyman was very close coming up towards turn 1, didn't go for the move. Not ideal, you don't really want to do it there, you want to wait for turn 3 if you can. It's a better braking zone to do it. But you've got to keep close enough through turns 1 and 2 to do it. Oh, he gets a little wide on the grass. It's going to hurt your momentum out of that corner. Little love tap on the wall for good measure. Track temperature's going up, by the way. We're at 31 degrees now. It's getting hotter by the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I always get nervous at a track like this when I see when I see the dust kicked up in the air. I just think, oh, you're inviting a problem. You're inviting a spin. Surely, this track doesn't need any more encouragement in managing you and things like that. But and the way the track progression works in iRacing, and it's completely fair in that if enough people go over the grass, you'll start dragging grass onto the track. Oh, Tom Van Hooyman. Turn 11, claims another victim. Bin, but he had a hell of a slide. Again, I looked away just at the moment.
You should stop doing that, although...
I really should, but thankfully replay cameras. And... Oops, yep, there he went. Look who's getting close to Phil Reed for 2nd.
I was just going to point that out. I think Mr. Reed's had an issue. His last lap was a 125.
Oh dear.
Let's see what he's done.
Looks that's okay, but it doesn't look like he wants to stay straight. Unless that's just the bumps throwing him around.
Wow. So he had a moment out of turn 8. Which is, if you go on board with him, I'll point out where he was. Oh, we are on the final lap.
That's Phil Reed defended that with everything he had left, and just Kessler breezed past him, but he had to go to the wall to do it. Oh, that was close. Yeah.
This was where Phil Reed had a moment last lap. You can see his tire marks on the left there. He nearly stacked it in the wall. Oh no! Contact! Phil Reed into the back of Patrick Kessler on the final lap.
Now, it didn't look like there was contact on my screen, but that could be either lag or netcode or something like that. But Kessler's gone round. That is, that's not Tim Delisle. Phil Reed's letting him go. So, obviously Phil felt that was partly his fault. That's Gio Cortese that's in the middle of those.
And whilst all that's happened, René Osterkamp has won the race.
Oh, he's already crossed the line.
Patrick Kessler's going to pick up second place. Phil Reed third. Tim Delisle about 3 seconds back.
Yeah, and then Sorokin's already crossed the line. Tom von Hooyman very close in 6th position. Then it's going to be Erka Lindström. There he is, taking 7th. Conor Ryan in 8th position, or will be when he crosses the line. A few more corners to go for him. But wow, what a dramatic ending for Kessler and Phil Reed. But he did it. They have got a 1-2 twice in the same night. So absolutely fair play to them. That's Conor Ryan crossing the line. Then it's going to be Loic Barbe, who in the end finishes over 4 seconds ahead of Marcel Miles. There he is, car number 862. Loic Barbe finishes the season. There is Marcel Miles crossing the line. Everyone else is already a lap down, so that is the order decided. Here they are. Osterkamp again in the top spot with a stunning fastest lap at the end. So he's picked up all the available points. What was his incident count, incidentally? Yep, he's got no incident, so he's picked up every bonus point there is on this evening. Very well played indeed. Oh no, he didn't pole. That was the only one he didn't get. So
yeah, Phil Reed's denied him on both of those.
So Osterkamp, Kessler, Reed, Delisle, Sorokin, Hooyman, Lindström, Ryan, Barbe. That is Marcel Morris in 10th position. Don't know why his name doesn't appear there. Cortese, Maldonado. 13th was Jacob Tofts. Morris, Dove, Fletcher, Tessier, Sloan, and Seal.
Just a confirmation as well, Phil Reed in the driver chat apologised to Patrick. He said it was a little
ambitious, yes. Well,
yeah, what a season from Sim RC and René Osterkamp. Very, very well deserving champion.
Indeed. Okie dokie. Who wants to talk to us? Well, no one's made themselves available for interview yet, which is fine because they have only just kind of got to the end of the race, and the obligatory destroying of the cars now begins. As oh, there we go. That's Conor Ryan and Marcel Miles on top of one another. Who else is still out there? There's not many cars actually still moving. So yeah, this is kind of the traditional ending of. Oh, very stylish there, Marcel.
We have an interviewee.
We do. So let's set up for that. And there he is. We are joined by Tom von Hooyman. Hello to you.
Hey guys.
How are you feeling after that one? Not quite. Heart goes out to you in the first race. That could have gone better for you.
Yeah, I was at P6 right in front of Kessler. When our provider, where you get internet from, etc., blew up, connected. I was so gutted about that. That happened. Especially when I was good on pace. I practiced for more than 6 hours for this last race of the season. So I was really gutted. But yeah, the sprint race was a lot better. Got 2 moments losing the car, but I could correct it and keep the car out of the wall. yeah, I got P6. I tried everything I could to defend from Tim, but Tim was rapid. He was so rapid. I tried to defend him twice. Lex succeeded, but then he got the inside line, and I was like, at the first turn, and I was like, yeah, let it go. Because maybe if I overcorrect myself or something, I'm going to crash. So I was like, all right, get P6 then. And at the last lap, I got a little bit of hope because Tim spun, pushed Alexi back into me. So it was really close at the line, but yeah, I couldn't do anything to take another position. But I'm really happy with my P6.
Nicely done. I mean, the bumpy conditions looked absolutely horrendous from outside. Is it as bad? Is it as bad as it looks to us?
It doesn't. For me, last season or a year ago, something when we raced here with the Formula Renault, I hated the track so much. But when I put more practice in, you need to love the track to get the feeling of the track and be fast. And once I got that done, yeah, the track is so lovely. It's a killing track, but when you get it right, it's so lovely to get that accomplished feeling of doing the track in an OP way. So that's, yeah, it's quite bumpy, but yeah, it's not that bad as it looks on the outside, I think.
Awesome stuff. Well, nice way to finish the season off. Well done, Tom. And well, we look forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'm definitely there next season. So thank you guys for the broadcast this whole season, and I'll see you again.
Pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been absolutely great to be able to commentate these races. And well done. And we will see you next time, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's bring in. We'll bring Connor Ryan in next. We've not spoken to him very much.
There he is. Hello, Connor Ryan.
Hello.
Well, how are you feeling after that one?
The sprint race not too bad. I was kind of cruising, to be honest, because it's just so tricky. But overall, yeah, pretty good results.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, we were just talking to Tom there about how bumpy it is, and it looks absolutely terrible from our side.
Yeah.
How are you finding track conditions?
Well, it's just about surviving, to be honest with you. You can never push on these types of tracks. You know, it's impossible because you go straight to the wall. Yeah, it's so hard. It's Monaco-esque, isn't it? So, especially, like, you know, what makes it so bad is it's so bumpy as well. You know, it just unsettles the car so much, and it's just so difficult overall.
I was going to point out as well, before coming into this race, I'm not sure how things stand at the minute, but going into this race, you jumped into third in the standings. Are you happy with that as the end of your season?
Oh yeah, I'm really happy with that, because I was looking to try, you know, top 5, and then obviously to get P3, which is really good from my point of view, because I was not expecting it at the start of the season. So yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Awesome stuff. Well done. You've had quite a few people cheering you on at various times as well in the chat, I noticed. Coming back for next season, Connor?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll see me next season.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Well done, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Right. Well, should we do one more double interview, and we'll get Phil and Sarah Dove in here?
Yeah, why not? And there they are. We have Phil Reed and Sarah Dove in the box with us. Hello, you two.
Hi.
Hello. Well, first of all, it looked like you were having quite a bit of fun in the practice session, finding ways to hide your cars. That looked quite amusing.
Yeah.
First of all, Sarah, it looked like it was quite a tricky race for you.
You could say that. It was pretty difficult.
Didn't go your way, I think it's fair to say.
No, it did. There's kind of a big crash at turn 1, and then I got turned around by Jacob, and then spent the next whole race just driving around by myself and then spinning sometimes. It was kind of fun, even though I was really slow.
It was a shame you couldn't switch to the GTE Ford.
Yeah, I'd love to be better.
Bit of a shame, but coming back for next season, do you think, Sarah?
Yeah. I think the next season should be a full F3 one, so hopefully I can do a bit better, because this one has been not particularly good.
Well, we wish you the best of luck for that, and for the final race of the Formula Renault 3.5, and of course for the GTE season, all of which you take part in. So good luck for those as well.
Thank you.
Mr. Reed!
Hello.
How are you after that one? You were hanging on to the championship right up until, well, pretty much your dramatic crash from the feature race. You've still done exceedingly well, considering, again, I did mention that you're on a pad as well. I tip my hat off to you to perform so well, as often as you do, and you're on what might be described as one of the not optimal control methods. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So how are you feeling after this season?
Oh, I didn't think that you were gonna have to stop the compliments there. I was getting quite used to it. How am I feeling? To be honest, I'm actually quite happy. I mean, I know that in the end I finished quite far off Rene, where I was, I think after Road America it kind of pretty much got sealed. Where it would have taken a disaster for Rene to have fallen back. But I was in I felt pretty competitive overall. I mean, it's a little bit inconsistent, but pace was there, I think, for a lot of the races.
Most certainly.
So I mean, I was definitely closer in pace than I have been ever in the 2.0. Now, whether that's just because it's a new car and people are still getting up to speed, or whether it is just a car that suits me better, I'm not 100% sure. But it's not like it was unusual contenders up the front. It was still the same people, so I feel like it could well be that it just suits me a little bit better once I get a setup going. And saying this being a shorter season as well was kind of a strange one, where sort of each race was far more important than normal, essentially being worth double. So it was kind of, it was all about just trying to go for it, really. I mean, I got 3 wins in the end, and I was, if I'd have not crashed here, and I could have potentially had another 2, which would have put me with 5 out of the 12 races, which would have been a new record for me. I think, to be honest, the most race wins I've had in the season is 3 anyway, so even in this shorter season, I've already matched that. So that's always good. Yeah, but overall, I feel pretty good, and I think Sarah hinted at it. I say hinted at it. Went out and said it blatantly that the next season will be an F3 season, full season, and the 3.5 will be dropped after it, just because the 3.5 doesn't get enough people in it, really. I mean, I know this race did, but this race is also at Belle, which has notoriously been. I say notoriously, we've done like 2 races, but notoriously, in both those races, the participation was lower than pretty much everywhere else, apart from maybe Bathurst. So, that's what we'll go. We'll go F3 again for next season as a full season. Hopefully, that'll be some really good stuff, because I think the F3's proved a lot of fun in both just driving and also the racing. It's been pretty good as well.
It certainly has. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate on you guys. Irrespective of where you've been in the field, it's been absolutely great to commentate on this season, indeed on all the iRacing seasons. It has been rather good to do. So well done, Phil. Shame it didn't quite go your way towards the end, but great efforts nonetheless.
Yeah, and just finally, I want to say congrats to Rene again on winning. I think that's 4 titles now. I mean, granted, this was a shorter one, but still, everyone had the same season, so you still won it.
Yep, can't take it away from Mr. Osterkamp.
No,
and
short season, long season. Maybe it's just too much for everyone else.
Well, he needs to be put in a go-kart or have a ballast or something for next season, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. Thank you very much, Phil and Sarah, for joining us. And that is going to wrap it up for this race and for this season. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. It's a great pleasure to have you with us. Thank you very much, Stevie, for keeping me on the straight and narrow, especially here. A great pleasure, and it's been a good pleasure to have you alongside me for the season.
It's been an honour. I love talking over these races with you. It's a good way to spend my evening. Coming up on the iRacing broadcast AOR League thing. I got all my words in the wrong order there. Well, I was powered through it. On Monday, we have the penultimate round of the GTE League at Le Mans, which is a track a lot of drivers love. So can't wait for that. We have on Friday the finale of the Formula Renault 3.5 League at Spa-Francorchamps. Can't wait to see how quick they're going to go around there. It's going to be amazing. And then that's it. That's it for these seasons. There will probably be something in the following week, but you'll hear about that
in due course.
Yes.
So thank you very much to our sponsors as well. Without you guys, AOR would not continue to grow. Do keep an eye on the website for when we will be streaming again. Sunday we'll see the return of the F1 2018 League. That's league is coming to a close. There's only 5 rounds of that one left. But there's iRacing, there's Project Cars, there's all sorts of things going on in between. But until then, thank you very much and good night.